We worry a lot about our children's physical health and well-being. We give them vitamins, we take them to the doctors, we encourage those healthy choices. But what about their emotional health? How do you raise an emotionally healthy child?
Julie Hanks, owner and director of Wasatch Family Therapy, believes you should become your child's emotion coach. I love just the sound of that, an emotion coach. How would you define that role?
Well, I would define it as a parent who is coaching from birth on. How do you deal with these emotions that are so strong, especially in young children, well, in teens too? How do you navigate that in a way that's healthy? Because difficulty managing our emotions creates a lot of problems throughout our lives. And if we can learn as parents how to coach our kids through that, they will thrive for the rest of their lives. It's one of the most important things we can do.
You got some great tips we're going to walk through in a second, but you mentioned the thing about the younger and the older. Is this for all children of all ages that need this? This
is all children, and this is all humans, really. It's not just strategies for parenting, but there are a lot of us who grew up in families that weren't emotion coached, and so as adults we have to figure out, what do we do with these really intense emotions? How do we use them to make our lives better and to get closer to people instead of to withdraw?
You point out that awareness, first and foremost, is key, just being aware of what your child's feeling and how they're expressing those feelings.
Yes. So often as parents we are aware of our child's behavior, but we're not aware of what's going on inside of them emotionally. And so just being aware that my child has this rich, full emotional life, and that's a huge part of what motivates their behavior. And we need to be aware of both of those.
So emotions are good things. They're not bad. They're good.
Just things.
Yeah.
They're just things. So a great point is emotions aren't good or bad. There's bad and good behavior. There's productive and unproductive behavior, but emotions aren't good or bad. That's a really important distinction to make. Emotions are just information.
And when those kids have those emotions, then you can actually use those to teach, as a teaching opportunity.
Yeah, emotions. When kids are really emotional, that's a chance for intimacy and teaching, a way to get closer to your child. So often when our kids are expressing intense emotions, particularly, we want to push them away. Oh, go deal with it.
But you're talking like a temper tantrum, someone who's like too tired or whatever, and they're having a meltdown of some sort, right?
Yeah, it's difficult. But if you see that the behavior's not okay, right? It's not okay to throw a fit because you don't get the toy in the grocery store or because you can't have a later curfew. But so you can set limits on the behavior while still accepting the emotion underlying it. So you're really sad. You really want that toy. You're really mad at me because I said no. The emotion's okay. You know, we need to leave because you're throwing a fit in the store, and that's not okay. The behavior is not appropriate, but the emotion is always okay. It just is.
So an important distinction there. I had a friend who worked with teens in a high school setting. She was a coach of sorts, and she said one thing that I learned really quickly is you can't dismiss those emotions because they're real to that person, and that brings in the idea of validation. How do you appropriately validate the emotion as you're talking about, but not the behavior?
Well, listening and empathizing. Yeah, that makes sense. You really want a later curfew, and you really feel like you're responsible, and you're mad at me because I'm saying no, or you're really sad because all your friends stay out. So you're hearing what they're saying, and you're validating it. Yeah, that makes sense. I get it. Your curfew is still 11:30 and not 12. But I'm hearing, and I can accept your emotions. Do you see the difference? Yeah. And it's hard to do that at first, but
especially in the moment, right?
Yeah.
When teens are yelling or kids are bawling, it's hard, I think, to step and break away from the situation and find that perspective, but important to do.
It is. It's really crucial.
And we as parents, so often, I get sucked into it. They get emotional. I get emotional. Before you know it, everybody's in this big whirlwind sucking us into this emotional thing, you know?
Yeah. But if you see that that's an attempt, emotions are a way to get close to your kid, we don't think about it that way. And if you think when they're intense, you can get closer to them, that's a mind shift for parents.
Even negative emotions.
Yes, because it's an opportunity to show them that you care about them, you want to understand them, you want to be close. That's what intimacy is knowing somebody's heart, not just controlling their behavior.
But when they're having these emotions, and we as parents have to communicate with them, we also have to make sure we're speaking the language they can understand, using words they know what we're talking about.
Yes, so the importance of labeling your child's emotions. We teach kids, this is yellow, this is the color red, this, ABCs. It's just, if not more important, to teach them, oh, you're mad. when you get like that, I can tell you're really mad. Or when you're really happy about that. You love that your friend asked you to come over and play at their house. So you're kind of narrating their emotional life for them and helping them find the words to express what's going on inside.
What's the payoff of that later in life?
Well, even at the moment, kids who are emotion coached are better able to get along with peers, they do better in school, and throughout the rest of their life, they're more successful in their relationships, in their places of employment. So this is, if you're going to do one thing for your kids, teach them how to manage their emotions.
And not just manage, but then also to come up with solutions. So it's not like you just forcing them, here's what I'm forcing upon you.
Right.
They have to come up with solutions for the emotions.
Right. So our job as a parent is to join with our kid and go, okay, well, what are you going to do about that? I know you're really hurt because these two friends left you out. You're really sad. What do you think you should do? You're going to help them problem solve. So often parents swoop in and go, well, why don't you do this and tell them what to do. But all of these intense emotions are opportunities for your child to figure out that they're competent, they're capable, and then they're developing those relationship skills that will be so valuable as they continue to develop and create their own lives.
This is such a great topic, Julie, a juicy topic. You have a couple of additional resources for parents out there if they want to dive in deeper.
Yes, yes. Raising an Emotionally Intelligent Child is an excellent book. I highly recommend that. And also Parenting from the Parenting from the Inside Out is an excellent parenting resource. And I actually stock those at my therapy clinic for parents to, clients to buy because I love them so much. So helpful in this topic.
Great tips, ways for us to become parenting emotional coaches, and not just telling them what to do, but actually helping them out.
Yeah.
Julie, of course, is the owner and director of Wasatch Family Therapy. You can, of course, learn more about her practice by visiting wasatchfamilytherapy.com. And we'll be right back with more on Studio 5.